Should I say hello? I think I should probably say hello. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone this glorious, glorious Sunday? The football season, the domestic football season is now over. Did people enjoy the Champions League last night? Are you happy with your team's respective seasons? Anything in particular you're looking forward to with the summer coming up? Maybe a World Cup, maybe a reset for your underwhelming seasons. Not looking at you, DMB. I mean, a great season for Rangers. Third is wonderful in a league of two. That's unfair to Heart. That's unfair. Now let's stop waffling and let's say good morning properly, because we do have some glorious, beautiful, wonderful folks in already. We've got the aforementioned DMB. We've got a bit of Crodmo. We've got RJ. We've got the medical car. It is lovely to see you all this morning, gents. How are you? How are you this morning? We've got Lestry. I shouldn't even refer to it as morning, and the same for Fishy as well, because it is very firmly evening. And Lestry, you've got a big game coming up as well tonight.
Statistics. It's not the statistics. You tell me. How do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
On a goddamn needle. Bless you, DMB, right off the top. I can't read it there, so I'm going to read it down there. That is a subscription to Crodmo, to RJ, to Teak, to SD Mandel, and to D Sawyer. You are an absolute legend, DMB. Bless you kindly. I will carry on with the introductions though, because George is in as well. Welcome in, George. How are you, sir? It's lovely to see you this fine morning. As mentioned, there's Fishy in over as well, over on YouTube. Lovely to have you in, my dude. I think I did see a little bit of G&G creep in just before we started. How are we doing, G&G? Lovely to see you, my man. So what have I missed? El Norby's in. Lovely. We've got Wusamu in as well. Lovely to see you, chaps. Hi, Wusamu has a question. Why did FM remove the scroll bar, as in when I add more tabs, I can't scroll to the side anymore? That should have been fixed with the last update, Wusamu. So I certainly noticed that the scroll bar has come in. So 2 updates ago, it did break, and you would only be able to scroll side to side if the table was shorter than the vertical length. But with the last update, it seems to be working absolutely fine for me now. Grizzly P's in as well, and Grizzly's coming in straight with the nomination for Inzaghi. So for those who don't know, we currently are running the Alphabet GOAT. So every stream, we take a letter of the alphabet and we nominate players for the greatest player of all time whose surname starts with that letter. Or, like when Brazilians have their mononyms, players that just have the name on the back of their shirt. So, for example, you could potentially have Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank as a J, because for a while he had Jimmy on his back. And we are currently on the letter I. And we've already had some wonderful suggestions right off the bat this morning. Crodmo came in strong with Iniesta. DM Basis came in stronger with Odion Igalo. And then we had a little bit of Muzzy Is It. We've had a little bit of Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And Mr. Grizzly's come in with Pipo Inzaghi. Only nominating one of the Inzaghis. Controversial. Welcome, El Norby. Lovely to see you, my dude. Aston Villa are not... I will take umbrage with the claim that Aston Villa are champions of Europe. Aston Villa are Europa champions. But I will, as Villa are former champions of Europe, I will be a snob and say that you can only claim to be champions of Europe if you win the European Cup / Champions League. We are the champions of a European competition, and it is glorious. It's 1 minute in and DMB's already catching stress. I'm sorry. So it's not bad for a young team who haven't been around for a long time. Indeed. How are we feeling about Crystal? I have essentially pooped on your parade as well there, Lestry, suggesting that Crystal Palace also can't claim to be champions of Europe. They are just a form of... They are champions of a European competition, but a fine outcome. Isn't that incredible? So let's have a look what we've got, what I've missed there. Satika's in. Welcome in, my dude. Lovely to see you, my man. We've got Naufel in as well. It's lovely to see you. We have Sherbs. Hello, sir. Hello, gorgeous to you indeed. To you, most definitely. Get DMB in the Rangers team. I think there's a good chance. There's a good chance. Just playing off Shankland, I reckon you'd kill it. Absolutely kill it. So sorry, I'm already starting badly, struggling to catch up. We've got a recommendation for Andy Irving, the phenomenal Scottish midfielder that West Ham signed and then buggered him off pretty much straight away, right? And we've got another suggestion. Muzzy is currently in the lead with 2 suggestions. We've got a shout for Dennis Irwin. That is a fine shout in there as well. I'm sure I saw one more. We've got Adam Ida. I mean, he certainly goes down as an FM legend, so that should surely count. And El Norby's the second shout for Ibrahimovic. Beautiful stuff. And we've got FIFA legend Victor Ibarbo. I mean, as good a reason as any, surely. As good a reason as any. Sir George has obligatory heart suggestion of the week as Andy. We've got as many shouts for Ibrahimovic as we do for Muzzy Izzet and Andy Irvine. Oh, pardon me. And the Andy Andy Irving, and those suggestions both came through as pretty much the same situation. So El Norby, Gioscio are relegated? No, that is crazy. Like, it was only last season you were challenging for the title. What happened, El Norby? What happened? That's not good. That's not good at all. Isco's a great shout. Isco is most definitely a great shout. So let's head on over to the game. I'll catch you up with what you've missed since we were last streaming last week. And I can tell you very, very briefly, you've missed basically nothing. So we last played at the end of the last stream. We played against Freeman Amateur, and that game, that 1-0 win with a 57th minute goal from our wingback Rasmus Kierkegaard, took us top of the league for the first time this season. We've lost just one game, which is absolutely crazy. And then the league went on a break for 4 months. So between November and March, there has not been a single competitive game. So all you've missed is a series of friendlies. A series of friendlies that look very, very boring to start off with. Just dull 1-0 wins. We played a big game against Trelleborg, absolutely destroyed them. A game against Holbeck, who are in the division below, just to finish off our mid-season preparation. And look at that. That's a sea of green. A ridiculous sea of green. We've got 1 defeat there to a top division side. We were thumped. Absolutely thumped. And the only other defeat we had was the second game of the season away against the league favourites Helsingør, who we've beaten since. So, you know, it's all looking very, very good. I did play 1 match because I got a little bit carried away with playing the friendlies and didn't notice that I got back into the season. So we do have a 2-0 win over Hillerod, who are down in 9th out of 12 teams. So pretty much a standard. We probably would have expected to win that one anyway, and we got the job done. Which leaves us in this crazy situation. We were only promoted last season. We were expected to go down. Our players are shite. Our players are truly, truly rubbish. We should be getting thumped week in, week out. And we are top of the league. We're 4 points clear of local rivals and nasty, nasty fascist team, AB. Academics Bold Club. The league splits in 2 after 5 more games. We have a 13-point buffer to 7th. So we are virtually in the championship group for the second half of the season, which is absolutely mad. There was only one slight issue. Just ahead of the last game, Alfred Maslin, our backup goalkeeper, has dislocated his shoulder. He's going to be out for 3 months, which is less than ideal. So we've currently got our youth goalkeeper, the only other goalkeeper at our club, on the bench. I've sent up a little recruitment thing for goalkeepers. I'm hoping that we'll find somebody who is a free transfer, because the regular transfer window is closed, but we can register frees at any time. So hopefully that's not going to come and bite us in the arse in the second half of the season. I hope. I hope. Welcome in Artems here, by the way, and a great suggestion right off the bat with Thomas Lavievich. Welsh Smithy had a fight with Salah. Who had a fight with Salah? Is it Ibrahimovic, Ibarbo, Isco, Ivic? Is it just every Belgian player who begins with I? No, RJ has gone for his Anderlecht suggestion. It's going to be Oleg Ayachuk. I will confess, I have no shame whatsoever in stating that I have no idea who Oleg Ayachuk is. I'm trying to concentrate as much as possible so that I spell his name right. And could we have a bit of Sergei Ignashevich? We could indeed. Fabulous stuff. And Vedad Ibisevic. Beautiful. We've got Hungda Twan in as well. Welcome in. By the way, welcome in Welsh Smithy. Welcome in Artemsia. Lovely to see you guys. Hungda Twan wants to know, can Igor Thiago join the GOAT race? Unfortunately, I'm pretty... Actually, what does Igor Thiago have on the back of his shirt? If he has Igor Thiago on the back of his shirt, absolutely. Otherwise, not. That's the suggestion. So I was struggling. I was thinking about this before the stream, but actually a couple of days ago. Like, who are the iGoats? And Iniesta came up. I was really struggling to think of players off the top of my head. But the one player that did come to mind, Gaming Fishy has said, and I mean, it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but a little bit of Nestori Irankunda. What a signing. There's another FM legend, a young kid. I mean, he's what? He's only like 19 still, isn't he? He might even be younger than that. He's 21 now in game. So he must start the game at 19, I think. Obviously, not just to see an FM legend, but that was the signing that when Watford signed them, it was unveiled by Zealand of all people, which is quite incredible. Quite incredible. Could we have a bit of Gonzalo and Nasho? No, Nasho can definitely go on the list. Beautiful stuff. Is Iniesta better than Tim Iroegbunam? Well, we can find out. Let's see if Tim Iroegbunam makes the final shortlist. Lestri coming in with the controversy. Gianni Infantino. I mean, I'm taking any suggestions, so that's fair enough. But I would perhaps want you to try and justify Infantino. That's a bold shout. We've got a little bit of Immobile as well. And what about a bit of Ibanez? Roger Ibanez. Let's get his name down there. So Philip, welcome in. You have a question too. You subscribed to Patreon because I really wanted to see your workflow in detail. You was amazed by how detailed your spreadsheets here are. I want to make a save like that myself. Would you be able to help me with some questions on the Discord? I mean, yes, obviously. Not now. I'm streaming. I won't be in a position to respond. And generally speaking, my responses can be a little bit slow. I did message you this morning over on Patreon. Generally, I will respond as soon as I can, but at the same time, I will be cracking on with work after I finish the stream. So please be patient if you can. How about a shout for Bodo Illner? There we go. Let's get that one in. Boom. Right, shall we head into a game? Our next game out is up against Vendasil. Vendasil are down in 7th, so they're on the bubble. Literally, if we win or draw this game, we are guaranteed the Champions phase. But I mean, it's pretty much guaranteed anyway, so there's no real jeopardy there. This is our strongest lineup, I think. We've pretty much been sticking with this most of the way. Sometimes it's Hereford, sometimes it's Winkle at right back, but otherwise, I feel like this is our strongest option. Oscar Svensson, our young 19, is he 19 yet? No, he's still only 18, is going to lead the line. I think he's taken over from Victor Farborg as my starting striker now, but, you know, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Igor Thiago does count. Beautiful. We've got confirmation there, and I will 100% take your words on that. And let's head up in here. We've got to follow what the assistant manager says. I once again went to the board during the winter break and asked for coaching badges. They once again told me to bugger off in no uncertain terms. So we still have to rely on our assistant manager for everything, which is fine, which is absolutely fine. Welcome in, World of Warcraft. Lovely to see you, my dude. How are you doing? So Welsh Smithy couldn't at the person who went from challenging the title to the relegation. Definitely fought with Salah. Right, there we go. There, right, that makes sense. How about a little bit of Hiroki Ito? Beautiful stuff. We'll get him in there as well. Lestri's going for Gianni Infantino because today he is a woman. Tomorrow he's going to be Serbian. Well, he actually, I was going to say he said something ridiculous this week, but he didn't say something ridiculous this week. He just said that he thinks it's going to be the greatest World Cup this year, which is what you'd expect the head of FIFA to say ahead of a World Cup. Let me just sort this out. I had my playing things quickly speed, but more importantly, we need to be heading over to that dugout. Let's get ourselves above our head here a little. Somewhere like there, and we press that one, and I press that one, and I zoom out a bit. Let's get ourselves our pseudo dugout view sorted. So another shout for Immobile. I mean, he's terrorized everyone, right, in FM. Just absolutely ridiculous for like 4 or 5 editions in a row. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. Oh wait, Nestorio and Kunda has the same birth as you. That's quite cool. That's quite cool. Oh, welcome in, Retro Gamer. Lovely to see you, my dean. It has been a while. I'm very well. How are you, sir? Oh, there's another great FM. Well, actually, was he FM or was he Champs? I can't remember now. But Charles Itonje, a phenomenal goalkeeper in his pomp. At least in a video game sense. How about a little bit of World Cup winner Vincenzo Yakinta? Let's get Yakinta down there as well. Let's get a bit of Stefan Iverson in as well. Ooh. Oh, only saying that as Zerachul isn't here to say it himself. I mean, but why not? Why not? Someone's got to represent the Norwegians. Right, that was a pretty big chance for Vendor-Sell a little bit earlier, but maybe we can do something here now. Here, Fort. Oh, off the bar. Ah, that was almost something astonishing. And we should expect to win this. 7th in the table. We are at home. And, you know, it's not necessarily been the greatest game yet so far. That said, I should have also put it on extended rather than key. So let's see what we've got here. Massad sends it forward. The highlight. I was going to say the highlight hasn't ended yet, but that was not part of the highlight. Let's be fair. That is shocking. That is shocking. You think Infantino has totally changed the football world? I mean, that's a fair shout. Or has he continued the damage that his predecessor was pushing for? So you do look forward to Iwan Kunda doing something mental at the World Cup. 50-50 if it's a worldie or getting sent off. I mean, he can absolutely thump the ball. The amount of power that he generates, it's like Adriano reincarnated. It is truly, truly remarkable. How about a little bit of Eike Immel? Let's get Immel down there as well. We're coming up with lots of German goalkeepers. Well, at least 2. There's a suggestion for Lorenzo Insigne. Best duo of tiny wingers with Dries Mertens, indeed. A bit of Vic Paber as well. Beautiful stuff. I think we've got Paber already. Let's get him a second mark. Where have I got him there? No, I'm getting him confused with Ibarbo. Paber up for the first time. Beautiful stuff. So the important question is, a Jaffa cake a cake or a lying biscuit? It's quite clearly a cake. It's got a sponge base and a chocolate ganache topping with a nice little it's just a very, very, very small cake. But biscuits aren't sponges. Are there any biscuits that are sponges? I mean, a sponge finger, you wouldn't call a sponge finger a cake. You'd call it a good night out. But would you call a sponge finger a biscuit? The important questions. So Lester, you're trying to get trying to get the Palestinian FA delegate to shake hands with the Israeli one on stage was definitely a goat move of idiocracy. I mean, it was certainly a choice. Absolutely tone deaf. We've got to do what the assistant manager says. The assistant manager says he's proud of everyone's effort so far. We've had just 3 shots at home against the team in 7th. I am not. I am not proud of their efforts, but I'm an idiot that doesn't know better. So we will just go with what the assistant manager says, unfortunately. How about Jackson Irvine? I cannot believe it's taken this long to mention Jackson Irvine. A great shout, George. A great shout. Grizzly, so because it's winning 11-3, but you absolutely love that 96 Super Eagles team. I mean, Nigerian teams, like the mid to late 90s, early 2000s, always were just super fun to watch. They were great entertainers. Absolutely. So Crudmo quite likes the word idiocracy. It's a great word. Welcome in QT22 divided by 77. You're so gutted losing the final yesterday, so I'll take it that you're an Arsenal fan. It is going to feel raw for a little while. You're so proud of them, but get that trophy next year, hopefully. I mean, it's always difficult to get to the Champions League final. Only teams make it. Only 2 teams obviously make it there. A little bit down to the luck of the draw, whether you get good matchups, and we're 1-0 down. Oh dear, let's tell these people that they're idiots. Let's berate them a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I think over the share of the game, I think a draw across 120 minutes was probably a fair result. Luck of penalties can go either way, that's for sure. But getting back there next year is always going to be tricky. It is always going to be tricky. Good luck for you. So Jaffa cakes go hard if left out, as do cakes. It's a cake. Thank you, DMB. Exactly. And they've got Jaffa cake digestives now. So that's the biscuit. See, there is a biscuit version of Jaffa cakes, which clearly means that Jaffa cake has to be a cake. We are in agreement on the world's most controversial topic. We are one. It's beautiful stuff. Jaffa cakes pay cake taxes. I mean, it's crazy that there are differences in such things. Oh, Mouset should have scored that. Oh, on a plate. Right, we need to make some changes. Mouset's tired, but I'm actually going to bring on Farborg Svensson because I haven't seen anything of him. I'm going to bring off my fabulous left back Kierkegaard. He's got 7 assists since we signed him, which is incredible. But he's not been great. And we're going to replace the right wing back as well. That is the most demanding positions on the team. Let's see if we can rally a little bit late in this second half. This is looking like another highlight though for Vendersil. Then make it over to Hannesbo. It's a fun name to say. Here's Breda. Breda's just no one's closing him down. Sends it to the back post. Easy gather. Right, I wanna shout at the players a little bit more as well. I mean, I would like some speech bubbles to pop up and tell us what kind of things we've shouted at them. So when I was berating them, was I calling them all, I don't know. What do we think is a good Danish insult? And what's even, look, I was going to name them after Danish food, but I can't even think of Danish food right now. They've got some, what's that donut stuff that's quite all right. I can't remember now. I can't remember. Settle Norby, have I missed your 2 votes? I do apologise. Let me see there. I missed Ian Acho. I did indeed. Let's get Ian Acho down there. I do apologise. What's the other one that I've missed? No, I got Hiroki Ito. So I've got Hiroki Ito and Ian Acho. So I missed one of yours, but I do apologise. We've got it there. In the end there. Real Madrid and Bolton Wanderers stalwart Ivan Campo. Yes, he wore Ivan Campo on the shirt. There we go. Perfect. Matches it. Just sweet go. Come on, Idris. Right, last few changes. I can't change the formation, so it's going to just have to be more attacking players on in positions that they're not necessarily made for. So let's see. Can Mouset play deeper? Farborg can play multiple positions. Let's chuck Farborg there. Let's go to very attacking. And let's see if we can get something right at the death here. A bit disappointing to start off with a defeat. Only our 2nd defeat of the season. But it does still keep Vendersil in that fight for the championship group. Here we go. Few minutes left now. Let's send it in. By the way, welcome in, by the way, Gusmac99. Thank you very much for the follow. Lovely to see you. Disposable Dwarf, welcome in as well. Lovely to see you. How are you both? How's your weekends been so far? Experimental Music asks, is Pink Wafer just a cone though? I mean, would you consider Pink Wafer? I mean, I wouldn't call a wafer an exclusively cone pertaining thing. Like I wouldn't have considered a stroopwafel as a cone. I think that wafers and waffles are kind of their own thing, maybe. But we seem to be in agreement. Experimental. A Jaffa cake is a cake. So the world's most controversial topic, but we all agree pineapple on pizza is excellent. I mean, that is true. That is true. Sherbs personally enjoyed the result of yesterday's final. Felt like justice for football. The Schadenfreude was immense. I've always been very much of the opinion that in the immediate aftermath, so like the day or two after a big game, I think it's always nice to be graceful towards the defeated team, because as a fan, you know, we've all been in that situation where, well, I mean, we haven't all been in that situation, but when you lose a final, it's a really, really shitty feeling. And sometimes I think it's just nice to give a little bit of grace, a little bit of breadth, and then the ribbing can carry on the next season. There's going to be plenty of time to make Arsenal fans feel bad. But as someone who lived 5 minutes up the road from the Arsenal and Watford training ground, I obviously have had to put up with a lot of Arsenal success during my youth that was, you know, sometimes makes me happy when they struggle, but not for now. Not for now. So George wants some team suggestions. You're in the mood to start a new FM save. What kind of teams do you like playing as, though? What kind of teams do you want to... Do you like a big team? Do you like a lower division team? Something that's like a project? Is there a particular type of save you're looking to do? And then maybe we can give some suggestions on those, that kind of route. Welcome in, Cultured Left Foot. Lovely to see you, sir. How are you? How are you? Let me get a lovely little shout out for the beautiful, the wonderful Mr. Cultured Left Foot. If you're not giving him a follow, make sure you do. He is an absolute delight to watch. Just a lovely, calming, genial, friendly, welcoming experience. Just show that man some love because he deserves it. Absolutely. So Guzmac, has anyone experienced any crashes on save since the World Cup update? You have no mods on 26, so I'm struggling right now. So I haven't had any crashes since the World Cup updates come out. I know that some people have. I know that there are, what was it? There was someone was having something with like cameras doing weird stuff as well, but it's been perfectly smooth for me, I'm afraid to say. So RJ suggests on delect. I mean, it is a fine suggestion. So RJ's more of a support your team instead of spitting on the opponent type of guy. Exactly. That generally seems to be tends to be my approach to things too. It's it skipped a few. Let me crack back there. So George, you don't have a preference. Your three favourite saves have been different levels of football. Probably not a juggernaut level team there. So there we go. That's why Ondelect was the suggestion. That's fair. Smørrebrød. Smørrebrød is some Danish food. What is wait a second. Brønshøj. Brønshøj is smørrebrød. Smørrebrød. We're going with smørrebrød. Let's try that, shall we? What is smørrebrød? And how is it actually pronounced? A suggestion for can. That seems like a fine suggestion too. Right, what changes do I want to make in response to that last game? I think we're going to give Porsgrunn a little run out. Give Linger a bit of a rest. We'll bring Farbold back into the starting lineup. Do we bring Wettergrun in? We're going to drop Larson for a game. Wettergrun's still quite a tall boy. I think he's 6'1". Or do we put Idris in the middle? He's 6 foot. Yeah, no, I think that's fine. Away game against Roskilde. Roskilde are kind of around that same spot. They're around 5th or 6th. We played more friendlies than any of the other teams, but apparently my players are still not fit, which is a bit of a shame. So Mike suggests Ichiro Suzuki. It's the wrong sport, but he deserves a mention anywhere. I mean, that's an argument. Is he the greatest of all time? I haven't necessarily specified football when I say GOAT. I mean, it's implied, but you could make an argument one way or the other, right? I'm good, by the way. How are you, Mike? How's the weekend so far? So RJ, it's crazy the hate some teams in the Premier League, and here I thought we were going too far in Belgium. I mean, banter, as it is put, is kind of the bread and butter of football support, isn't it? So football's my chat keeps on bouncing around. One of these days I'll actually be up to speed with chat, you know. Football saved by the Middle Eastern Petrostate backed super club. Exactly. How about a little bit of Alex Iwobi for an IGO? We can get Alex Iwobi down for sure. An early chance there, and we've got a corner. And it seems like the goalkeeper wants to help us out as well, bless him. That's very, very kind. So you think it's probably because you moved away and haven't been caught up in the tribal nature, but you always support the domestic teams in continental competitions, even if the fans are shy. I must confess, I'm kind of not as tribalistic in that respect when it comes to finals. I just want games to be when it comes to neutral games, I just want them to be fun and entertaining. Which does mean you end up in that weird situation where you find yourself going, yay, I quite enjoy watching the Middle Eastern Petrostate backed super club, you know? So it can be very, very tricky, and obviously there's a level of engagement there. But it's, yeah, I mean, if an English team is boring to watch, I will quite happily root for the non-English team. Here we go, we send it in. Mouset, it was never causing any problems there, unfortunately. It was a big day yesterday. Arsenal lost, but most importantly, the San Antonio Spurs won the West. They did indeed. They defeated the evil empire of basketball. I was talking to RJ over on Discord this morning as well. Spurs are obviously the favourites for the finals. I struggle to see the Knicks being good enough, but they have basically had a week extra off. So it'll be interesting to at least see how the series starts and maybe ends, because you would expect the Knicks to be fresher maybe for the first game or two, but also when it comes to the end of the series, they might be fresher because they just haven't played as many 7-game series. So, you know, that could actually level the playing field a bit, which I hope so, because I don't want a sweep. I don't want a 4-1 in the finals, and I think that on level footing, the Spurs sweep the Knicks, right? So I want it to, well, it goes the same as football, right? I want it to be as close and exciting as possible. So World of Warcraft is suggesting someone in the second tier of Spanish women's football. Try to get them better than Barcelona. That is a fine suggestion. Right, can we do something here? I think we might need to make a little shout at some point. I've not been watching from the dugout. Boom. Well, I will sort that out at the end of this highlight. Yay, Wang! Everyone loves Wang. Oh no, I don't love Wang. Wang's got an assist. Oh, come on. What's happening? We've lost one game all season. No. What are you doing, Spasajevic? Just running away from the ball. And Kostic skips inside. No one coming across, and Westgren he bails out eventually. And it goes in the middle of the goal. That is an awful goal to concede. Oh my. Maybe the collapse is starting now. I mean, to be fair, a bit like last season, I didn't want to get promoted because I didn't think we were going to be good enough. I kind of don't want to go up to the second division yet because I'd like more time to build out the team. Here's Kirk Card trying to get the equaliser. Not going to happen. Settle Morby's going to suggest to Josh Gore, you'll perform better than the EMR live team. And that's fair. So DM Basis has had some crashes, which were mod related. Fair enough. But you need to update your graphics card. That's the other thing as well. So Experimental Muting, the conspiracy is though it's a cake to dodge biscuit tax. I was joking until I googled it. HMRC generally try to charge VAT on Jaffa cakes. I mean, so there has been the argument, but it has all the components of a cake, right? It's sponge, it's ganache, it's a fruit filling of sort. I mean, I think it's fair to suggest that it is a cake, even if a very, very small one. RJ would go for a Rangers or Everton save. Two small teams that need to be rescued. That does make sense. Mousette, come on, lad. He means Everton from Chile. I mean, that is a finer suggestion for sure. So Smørrebrød is an open-faced sandwich served on rye bread with various toppings. Thank you very much, Marco. What kind of toppings do you normally put it on? And Artemio has said it as well. So camembert with blackcurrant and salted beef with aspic and... Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, I thought you were saying camembert with blackcurrant and salted beef. But no. Camembert with blackcurrant sounds delicious. Salted beef with aspic and onions doesn't sound too bad. But the camembert one definitely sounds right up my street. Welcome in, Ladislav. Ladislav, I'm a massive fan. How are you doing, sir? Another shout for Immobile. I mean, Immobile is a popular suggestion and a very, very good one. Has anyone mentioned Danny Invincible? They have now. Let's get... What a great name Danny Invincible has. And we're 2-0 down. No, it's offside. It's fine. I mean, we're 1-0 down. What we've seen... Have all their shots been highlights? And none of ours have. That is... How bad are the shots that they're... This is where the save can get frustrating, because without being able to change the tactics, we are a little bit limited in response. However, I do have the saved favourite tactics of the other members of staff. So we do have something we can switch to if we do end up with kind of a little bit more of a structural issue going on. But for the time being, we will kind of ride it out. What changes can we make? I don't want to say we've been unlucky. I want to say you've been rubbish. But we can't. Victor Farborg has dropped an absolute stinker, so it's going to be... both the changes we made were absolute stinkers. Wettergren as well as coming off. Nikolai Larsson comes back in. We're going to move back up to attacking. Let's give it a go. All right, let's have a better... more of a fist of it in the second half, eh? So let's pop ourselves over the manager, pop out here, zoom out, track the ball. Let's see what happens in the second. It's Wang on the wing, sends it forward again. He almost finds his man. A little bit better in terms of reaction there. New from Apple, the iMobile. I mean, I imagine most Apple fans would buy an iMobile if they put it out. Once you're in that Apple ecosystem, you have no choice, I believe. I think you are forced on pain of death to stay with Apple for everything for the rest of your life there. How about a little bit of Danny Ings? Danny Ings, greatest of all time. I mean, he deserves a mention purely for the amount of transfer fees he's managed to amass whilst being so distinctly average, at the top level at least. Can have a former Hearts player, Crodmo, genius. Who is the former Hearts player at Cannes then? So fresh Knicks, but Spurs are in the moment. Knicks might need a game to go back in. That is also true. They might be a little bit rusty after a week off. It's possibly the worst Hearts player you've ever seen, though. Fair enough. So in 98, Jazz swept Lakers while Bulls battled Pacers for 7 games. We know what happened then. Fair point. Look, let a man dream that we might have a bit of a competitive final, right? So Smørrebrød is pronounced like smørrebrød. So first you pronounce like in but smørrebrød, and at the end like in the. So smørrebrød. How on earth does smørrebrød become smørrebrød? I feel like I've broken. I'm smørrebrød, but smørrebrød. We're going with that. So Sherbs, it's your fault we've conceded. Fair enough. I am blaming you 100%. We seem to have started the second half okay though. Here's Kierkegaard sending it in. We can't really see him much from this distance, but that's half the fun of it. I'll just zoom in a little bit more. Svensson then takes aim from absolutely miles away, wins a corner. Here comes Porsgrunn, gonna send it in. Porsgrunn whips it. It doesn't even beat the first man. I think. Oh, can he do something here? Here's the counter attack. Ruben nicks away. It's a one man against 6. No, we get it back. Svensson, no effort. We've got the throw in there. Wang Ball was the name of your first blogged save. I mean, that is a phenomenal name. So you love a bit of Wang. Who doesn't love a bit of Wang? Whether that's Phil Wang. Can I think of other things called Wang right off the top of my head? I can't right now. Right, let's bring on Svensson. Let's bring on Linger as well. Let's just let's have a little bit of faith in them to see through. We've got 1 sub remaining now. We've got 2 stoppages. Maybe we can bring on half a player at a go, right? Morning, Coatiba. Lovely to see it. What? Dear God, what time is it over there now? This is very, very early. How are you? Knicks are going into war after practicing on test dummies. Spurs are going into war after practicing on the German Blitzkrieg machine. It's the old West versus Ross debate. I mean, what are you saying about my beloved Cavs? I mean, we were poor. We were very, very poor. Here's the cross. Mouset can't quite get there. Wang denied by Wang. Right, I mean, I hear Wang and I need to guzzle. I don't know what that says about me. So speaking of Danish in general, Viggo Mortensen or Mads Mikkelsen, who you got? And what criteria are we suggesting the greatest, just Great Danes? Do we think who will win in a fight? Who's got the most enjoyable nose? That's Oscar Svensson with the yes.
Goals for Brønshøj, it's Brønshøj who scores goals, it's Brønshøj who scores goals, it's the goals for Brønshøj. Always should be someone you really love.
Is this that weird thing where it goes into the full match rather than the high? This is very slow. We're going to skip the highlight. We're going to skip the highlights. It's going very, very slow. Right, another goal would make me very happy. Come on, let's get that winner. I think we're going to bring on the last sub shortly, though. Let's see what happens here, though. Might change. I'm thinking of bringing on Stojanovic for Mouset. Mouset has kind of made that deep lying forward role his own. But let's see. Cross comes in, cleared away. And here comes Ruben. To Oud. Oud plays it back to Ruben, and that's a beautiful foul from Linger. Is that going to be a yellow card? No, he's absolutely fine. So here's Stojanovic on for Mouset. Stojanovic hasn't really had much of a look in since Mouset arrived. So let's give him a chance. I do think he's going to be gone at the end of the season, sadly. So Crudmo wants to suggest Clayton Ince, but not Paul Ince. Fair enough. Cultured left foot with another shout for Ibrahimovic. I mean, you can't go wrong there. Another shout for Insigne as well. Fabulous suggestion. So Cyril, when on a run of poor form, at what point should you change formation and tactics if you can't exactly find what's wrong? So Cyril, generally speaking, I tend to find that as long as you've got a relatively solid theory behind what you're doing, anything can be fixed. So in a normal save, I'd be able to watch through, and it's just going to be a case of making small little changes here. It's going to be changing a role or two. It's going to be maybe changing a couple of instructions and trying to deal with the smaller issues. Because as long as you've got a solid base, a solid philosophy behind it, you've got an approach to how you're going to defend, an approach to how you're going to attack. You've got a reasonable understanding of your player's ability compared to what you're asking them to do. Generally speaking, it's reasonably. I rarely find a situation where you need to change tactics entirely. However, we can't do any of that in this save. We've got to go based on we can, but only once we've got coaching badges. And the board keep on refusing to let us have coaching badges. So we kind of are stuck with a formation that we have very little influence over. We aren't really able to. With our financial system where we're only offering players €380 a week and the match highest earner clause, everyone is in exactly the same. We don't have a big pool of players to necessarily sign the best fits for whatever our assistant manager wants to do either. So it's a little bit different in that sense here, where it's probably going to be a case of if we are starting to fall apart a bit, that the only option I have is to then change drastically to what another member of staff suggests. Here's the ball forwards. Is Ruben going to get there? Here he is. Ruben to get the winner. Oh, no. No, that's not an assist. That's a great goal. That's a great assist, right? Here we go. Here's Stojanovic. It's out to Herfold. Great chance from Peterson. Ball over the top. How is that not an assist? Beautiful goal. Beautiful goal. So welcome in, Rich. Lovely to see you, my dude. Streamer is broken by Danish food. It's tale as old as time. I genuinely can't get my head around. So Artemcha, you explained this. I'm not even going to try and say it. I'm not even going to try the pronunciation badly, but it is not intuitive. I mean, I appreciate it anyway. I will look it up after the stream, and I'll try my best. I'll try my best. That is 2 defeats in a row. I don't think we've lost 2 games in a row since this save has started. Oh dear. Oh dear. Welcome in, Rick. Lovely to see you, my dude. It's a Corati, but it's 7 a.m. Oh my word. Well, 7:40 now. Far too early on a Sunday. Ask Victor is the name of our assistant manager, and he's far too nice. What do you mean you're proud of your efforts? We need to be saying some of these angry stuff at them. We need to say some of the angry stuff at them. But we can't, so let's deal with that. 2 defeats in a row. Shocking. So the wheelchair views are great at Hearts. It does vary. More stager, including elevator views, but often it's crap. That's fair. There's only 20 wheelie spaces at Stockport, which is why you never go. Only 20. That's crazy. That is crazy. Somehow, I think Helsingør are also having a bit of a bad moment, as are AB. Let's have a look. So, Helsingør beat AB. That meant they jumped up to second, and then they've lost the most recent game against Fremad. AB lost both their games, including to bottom of the table Ishoy. Despite 2 defeats in a row, we still have a 2-point gap at the top, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. We fall to a late defeat. So let's have a look at what the other tactical possibilities are. Let me clear the squad because I don't want it doing funny things with the roles. So we've got Victor Nissan. Is it Victor Nissan? Jackie Nissan, sorry. Jackie Nissan is our head of youth development. He likes a tiki-taka 4-2-3-1, which we've got here. Tiki-taka 4-2-3-1 is an option. And then we've got Skov Christensen. Skov Christensen has come in as our fitness coach. So probably the least likely of people we're going to listen to. He likes a 4-3-3 wing play. So we have a 4-3-3 wing play as well. They're very, very different styles, very, very different formations, which I'm a little bit wary of changing to because of such a departure accordingly. So RJ, you had a 2-minute replay yesterday, 3 possessions before the goal. Incredible stuff. Incredible. Welcome in, by the way, Kekash. Lovely to see you this morning. Is the Iniesta was mentioned right off the top. He's going to be a strong contender, I think. Welcome in, Jacko Donuts. I love that name, Jacko Donuts. Sensational stuff. How are you this fine morning? Has anyone said Gökhan Inler? No one has said Gökhan Inler, but you have now. He's on the list. How about Cecil Irwin? Another Irwin at fullback. Legendary fullback in the 60s. 351 appearances for Sunderland. There's a shout. So RJ, yes, you have now indeed. The game doesn't show assists sometimes. I've never seen it miss an assist that just seems completely and utterly normal. Like there are those questionable ones where like the goalkeeper parries it, like parries across or something like that. You're like, is that that? You know, who knows? I feel like it should count as an assist. Right, okay, we've got a break coming up in a couple of seconds, so we're going to go and do the honors where when there's a break, I will take a break as well, so I can refill my drink, go to the toilet, do this. Does mean there'll be adverts running, but for those that don't see adverts, we're going to have a little bit of a mini game that goes on during the break as well. So I will see you guys in about 3 minutes. Okay, welcome back. So, first things first, Kekach, fabulous work getting Samu Agehoa, otherwise previously known as Samu Omoridian, A fabulous work there. And the applause did come through from Grizzly. Then Sherbs asked, did we ever play bingo? No, I did not see the redeem for bingo or only connect. So we'll get through those now. Let's start with a little bit. Nope, not the daily challenge. With friends there. Let's get ourselves a lovely little global code, and I'll pop this in the chat there. So people that haven't played bingo before, there is a lovely little link now appearing in your chat windows. If you pop on over there, that will sign you up to the lobby. Once I click start, every single player gets a unique bingo card with 16 squares. They'll contain things like clubs or countries or awards or competitions won. We then get a list of 60 players revealed one after another. Each player, you get 10 seconds to decide whether they match one of your squares. So if you've got Cristiano Ronaldo as the player and you've got a square for Portugal or Man United or a European Championship, for example, you could click on one of those squares. And once you click it in, it's locked in. You can't undo it. You can't put another player in that square. And the aim by the end is to get all 16 squares filled correctly. And that will get you a bingo. And last time out, we had a bingo for GNG and for Ladislav, our massive fan. Some sensational work last time. But don't worry, if you're worried that you might not do particularly well, you're in good company with me. I tend to suck. There's a number of us that suck, and it's just about having a little bit of fun. So I'll give it a couple of minutes or so, give people a chance to join in, and then we'll start it up. And after that, we've got a round of Only Connect, and boy, you guys are in for a treat. Barrow Prinko 1, thank you very much for the follow. Kudno 8, thank you for the follow as well. I hope you are both very, very well. If you're comfortable jumping in chat, I'd love to know who you support, who you're playing FM with as well. But there is absolutely zero obligation whatsoever to do so. Feel free to just lurk and relax and enjoy. Lestry is wound up by the fact that Eden Hazard is on our list of alphabet goats. I mean, you just got to get with the times, Lestry. You know, I understand that you're a big Jizz Hornkamp fan and you really wanted Jizz Hornkamp to win. And sadly, it's not always going to be the case. It'll be interesting to see who. I mean, I think there is one clear player that is. No, actually, it's going to be between two, isn't it? It's going to be one that, on a personal level, I think is actually production, and the other one is hype. But sometimes hype is all you need, right? You just need a good hype man, and in the case of some people, that hype man is themselves. So, Wick, I did see your shout for Victor Ibarbo. I've marked it down. We have indeed had Victor Ibarbo already, so you are the second shout for Ibarbo, which is beautiful stuff. Right, so let's pop on over. I'm going to give it a little start here. If you've got this open in another tab, head over to it now because the countdown will already be underway. The only real answer is Igalo. I agree 100%, DM Bassist. Right, let's see what we've got here. Oh, it's too soon. Too soon. You can't be bringing him up the day after. The day after. That's just cruel. Cruelty personified. Oh, to Arsenal fans, I'm sorry. I have no control over football bingo here. I should actually pay attention to what we've got here. I've got John Duran. Oh, Colombian. Yeah, we can do that there. Ayoze Perez was he at Sevilla? We've got so many players left to go. I can wait until there's some. Maybe I'm a little bit more confident on there. So has Ronaldinho won a World Cup? Has he won a Europa League? I don't think so. So I'm gonna play it very, very, very safe. I should have done for UCL final. We've got Raul Morelos. We'll just play with Chelsea to keep that one nice and safe as well. There's one for RJ. We've got a bit of Dries Mertens. Dries Mertens can go for Belgium there. Brian McClare. Obviously won the World Cup with Scotland. I'm not sure if he matches any of those. I'm sure there is one that I've missed quite. They'll be really, really obvious, I'm sure. I'm not feeling confident on Minamino either. Benny McCarthy. What a player. Benny McCarthy's time at Porto was so fun to watch. Such a shame that it never quite worked out in England. How about a bit of Joel Matip? Was Joel Matip in... there's not a Champions... Oh, there's a Champions League final one. I've got to remember. Champions League final is there. It's Europa League or UEFA Cup. It's Champions League final are the options there. Right, Alex Merritt. Great goalkeeper in FM. Someone who often comes up as a player I want to sign. But I don't think he matches any of those for me. Jeremy Menez. I'm sure that Menez ended up at PSG for a while, so I'm going to play that one. Wilfred Ndidi. Indeed he did. Indeed. I don't think he matches any of those, so I'll let that one go as well. Javier Mascherano. Was he there Benitez's time? I feel like he was, but I'm also doubting myself greatly. I'm doubting myself greatly on every single one of these. Montoya, did he ever play in a... Oh, I don't know. Mutu and Makalele. Mutu was before Makalele at Chelsea. Don't think he matches any of those. Divock Origi has definitely played in the Champions League final. I can play that one. As has Nuno Mendes twice. Won it twice. Can he match any of those? I'm not so sure there. I feel like Renan Lodi is a Sevilla player as well. He's just the kind of player that will have played for like Sevilla, Villarreal for like 6 months on loan. Pastore, that would have been a good one for Paris Saint-Germain. We're going to let that go. Lucas Ocampos. I'm 98% certain he's played for Sevilla. Not 100% by any stretch of the imagination, but that's just... Has Luka Modric won a Europa League? Could have done. Could Gregor Kerbal have won a Europa League? I don't think he has. We'll let that one pop through. Oh, Load FM. Welcome in, Raiders. Lovely to see you guys. We are currently in the midst of a little bit of football bingo. So I do apologise that you are currently watching as I fail to identify what players match any of this stuff. But how are you all? How was the stream, Load? How is everyone's Sunday? Have a good weekend so far. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with Load FM, you should most definitely be giving him a follow. An absolute gentleman. Despite the Luton links, we can forgive that. And I can say that as a Hertfordshire lad. I'm allowed to be anti-Luton purely on geographical basis. Andre Gomes, I'm giving that one a skip as well. Vitor Bayer wasn't at Benfica, was he? So we're going to give that one a follow. Skip too. I am not liking any of these at all. Welcome in, Jambo fan. Thank you very much. Another Hearts fan, I would assume. How are you? Lovely to have you in. We have a fair number of Jambos in and around. Simon Kier, we can give him a little let him go. Anthony Robinson is American. I can definitely play that one. So is Followen Balogun. But I don't think he's ever played in America. Going to skip that. Marco Asensio has played for a number of teams, but I don't think he's played for Inter or Barcelona. I don't think Benfica. I don't think he's played with Makalele. He's definitely won a World Cup. Jeremy Pino. Again, not feeling good on that one. Jesus Navas. Was Jesus Navas in the Spain squad when they won the World Cup? I'm going for it. Jose Antonio Reyes, that's going to be a skip as well. Enzo Fernandez was signed from... He wasn't Sporting, he wasn't Porto, he was Benfica. Was he Benfica? Esteban Cambiasso. Which Italian teams did he play for? It's gone anyway. Christian Zapata. He can't have won a Copa America, could he? He could have won a Copa America. Mario Mandzukic. I'm not confident there. Damari Gray. Where is Damari Gray now? He's out in Saudi Arabia, possibly. I'm not sure. Thomas Gravison. Thomas Gravesen, has he played with Makelele at Real Madrid, possibly? That's a bold take. I'm not feeling good on that one. I don't think Carlos Bacca has won the Copa America. I don't think he's played out in America. I don't think he's played for Inter and Barca. Edgar Davids hasn't. We can skip that one there. Eden Hazard hasn't. Demetrio Albertini hasn't. Marcos Acuna maybe has won the Copa America. Well, I don't know if he would have been in the squad for when Argentina won it. Nicolo Barella hasn't played for Barcelona. Xavi Alonso hasn't played for Inter or Barcelona. Don't think he played in USA. Alex Baena hasn't. Frederic Canute. We've got 4 players remaining after this. I am going to go that Frederic Canute played in USA at some point towards the end of his career. Now I'm looking for an Inter and Barcelona player. And is that Maxwell? Is that Maxwell? So we're having a lot of people saying that it's a very, very difficult round. And I mean, the scores do suggest that it is fantabulous work. Fantabulous. Fabulous work from... there we've got Artemisia. Absolutely kills it at this. El Norby and Mr. Grizzly P with 14 out of 16. Great work. And then we've got a number of players on 13. We've got GNG, we've got Rich Son, we've got Wangball. Who is Wangball? I hope that is you, Lestry. And we've got Kekaj. Fabulous work. So the way this works is we run a scoreboard that runs in perpetuity across the streams. So the people that come first get 5 points. That's going to be Artemisia, El Norby, Mr. Grizzly P, 5 points each. If someone finished second, they get 4. Someone finished third, they get 3. But because there's 3 players there, the next lot are all in joint fourth. So FMGNG, Rich Son, Wangball and Kekaj all get yourself 2 points each. And I'm saying this out loud, but I actually need to be writing it down because then I get this written to my lovely little scoreboardy thing. Artemisia, El Norby, Grizzly, 5, GNG, Rich Son. I'm going to assume that's you, Lestry. If Wangball is not Lestry, let me know so I can get the points correctly sent across to you guys. That was a very, very, very tough round. I agree with you guys completely. I did not enjoy that one whatsoever. Right, we also have a round of Only Connect coming up. What I will do though, so Jambo fan, yes, there's the Discord indeed. So George, we are invading. I love the Raiders. I do hope that the stream went well. We've got lots of people loving the fact that you're called Jambo fan. I thought that would be the case for sure. So you didn't realise Arteta wasn't a part of the World Cup winning squad. See, Arteta was a great player, but also just not quite good enough for Spain at the time. How do you get into that Spain squad? So chat, hit the like if you're liking likes. Even hit the like if you hate to hit the like. Exactly. Just hit the like for the hell of it. That George is upset he got beat by me. That's fair enough. Quan's in. Welcome in. Lovely to see you, my dude. Tungy plays as well. Lovely to see you as well. Thank you very much for the follow. El Norby agrees it was a tough round. Quadmo missed bingo because he's making a sandwich and feeding the tortoise. Thank God you got that the right way round. Blue Lions is in as well. He's going to guess right at the top that we've got players that scored in the Champions League penalty shootout. So let me tell you guys how Only Connect work in case you haven't been here before. In a few moments, you're going to see pictures of 4 players, one after the other. They all share a common connection. Your job is to guess what that common connection is. If you get it after 1 clue, you get 4 points. After 2 clues, you get 3 points. 3 clues, 2 points. 4 clues, 1 point. You also get a point for being the first person to correctly identify the player. So when you pop it into chat, you do need to spell their name right. You can give their full name. You can give just their surname. If they've got accents in their name, like a grave E, you can include it. You don't have to include it. It will still pick it up either way. Now, I sorted out this game this morning. I got home. Ooh, what time is it? I think it was 10 past midnight. And I then started doing my preps for the stream. And I was feeling a little bit diabolical. So this might be a tricky one today. It might be a tricky one today. And with that said, Let's reveal the very first player. Can anyone identify the first player? Jambo, what football team do I support? I might have missed your message. I did indeed. I'm very, very bad at keeping track, especially when we're in the midst of games. Oh, sorry, Crudmo, write it again. Not right now. Write it once I've done the thing. Write it now. There we go. We've got 1 point. I'm a professional streamer, right? But yes, I am an Aston Villa fan. For all my sins, despite having zero connection whatsoever to Birmingham. It's disgusting. But so we have an early guess from Coatiba as to the suggestion that it could be players with colours in their names, which is a fine guess, an absolutely fabulous guess. Because Nigel Spink does indeed have pink in their name, but that is not the suggestion. DM Basis was going for it as well, sadly not. Their surnames is one letter away from a Pokemon name. I am not familiar with Pokemon, Rick. Well, no, I'm familiar with them. I don't know anything about Pokemon. So what is the name of the Pokemon that is close to Spink? I hope it's not Spunk. I feel like it might be. It's Spoink. Okay, thank God for that. Thank God that. Right, Jambo, you've got to go as you need to get up. Join the Discord, so hopefully some hearts chatting there. Thank you very much for the follow and welcome into the Discord. Have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. So we've got won a European trophy with Villa as a fine suggestion. Played for rivals clubs is a fine suggestion. Sub goalies in Champions League finals is a good suggestion as well. Share names with politicians. Nigel, I love where you're going there. Sadly, it is none of those. And here is the second clue. Who is this chap? Who is this glorious, glorious bastard? Crodmo is in there once again. Fastest fingers in Hertfordshire. Crodmo, it is indeed Dion Dublin. What links Nigel Spink, Dion Dublin, and two, as of yet, mystery players? Can we work out a connection there, possibly beyond the obvious that they played for Aston Villa? So they all played for Villa last time Villa won a trophy. No. Spink was definitely gone by the time we won in '96. It was Michael, it was Bosnich, it was Oakes. Oh, who was our third choice back then? I can't remember, but it's a good guess, but it's not that, sadly. But also, as McG rightly points out, we last won a trophy last week, indeed. You knew it was wrong, but you said it anyway. It's a perfectly reasonable guess. Is it people that have become pundits? So I don't think Nigel Spink has, unfortunately. I mean, look, as a Villa fan, I love Nigel Spink, but he never struck me as the most verbose of humans, sadly. And so is it that they're all the same height? Could it be that they have a Coventry City link? It is neither of those, but fabulous suggestions. One Cap Wonders is a great suggestion. It is not, unfortunately. Is it players that became entrepreneurs? I mean, who doesn't love the Jube, right? But it's not, unfortunately. Is it people you saw at Liverpool Lime Street Station last year? That counts for Dion Dublin at least. It wasn't, but it was a fine guess. Could it be that they all played two very different positions at club level? A fine suggestion as well. Spink's definitely played as a striker before. Dublin's played as a striker and as a centre-back. We've got Norwich, Coventry and Villa as a link. Double Midlands clubs. Injured in the warm-up in a final. Player managers. They're all fabulous suggestions, but none of them, sadly, are right. So let's go to the next one. Who is this fine chap? And we finally have one very much in DM Basis' wheelhouse. But, oh, Blue Lions, just mere, probably milliseconds before Rick getting in there. It is indeed Calvin Bassey. So Cultural Left Foot was going to suggest players recovered from broken legs, which is a fine suggestion. So do we have anything that could potentially link Nigel Spink, Dion Dublin, and Calvin Bassey? We have got suggestions that they are serial losers. Oh, McG, that's harsh. I mean, it's not that. I'm not necessarily disagreeing with your point. So, dear, basically, you're trying to order your... I mean, that is far more important. Food is far more important. Is it players who are very wide? That's Bassey at least. I mean, Bassey is a broad chap. Dion Dublin, certainly towards the end of his career, was quite a broad chap, as was Nigel Spink. But that's not what I'm looking for, unfortunately. Could it be? Could it be that they've all presented homes under the hammer? It is not that they've all presented homes under the hammer, but I do like that. McG is suggesting that it might be female singers. So you're going for Celine Dion, Shirley Bassey, and Pink. I do like that suggestion there. We've got players who play with their shorts falling off. As a feature for sure. As a feature for sure. So do we have any more guesses there? Let me just, I need to pop something in here. We've got that there. We've got players 6'4", all having played for Leicester City. So Artemsia says, even if this isn't right, you want it to be. Well, let me tell you, Artemsia, let me tell you, McG, it is most definitely right, because we were going to finish with Ryan Cherky. It is players whose names contain female singers. That is sensational work, McG. Pretty much got it word on as well. Incredible work. I did tell you it was a bit of a diabolical one. And McG just shoots me down. Just shoots me down with his insane knowledge. Beautiful work. Beautiful work indeed. Oh wow from Crodmo. Oh wow from Rick. A shout from Cultured Left Foot. There's the claps coming in now as well from GNG. From Blue Lions. From El Norby. From Rich Sun. Grizzly says it's fabulous. And it is amazing work. Amazing work indeed. This is Friday-esque. It is Friday-esque, Lestery. As I can no longer stream as regularly, there is no longer the Friday difficult ones. It's just every now and then I will give you a really, really evil only connect. But McG rose above it. He's on a level that I don't think the rest of us can comprehend. Superb work. Superb work indeed. We should probably get back into the game now. Our next match coming up is a home game against Brabant. They are in 11th. Surely we can't lose that one. Could we go for our three defeats on a trot? That would be disappointing. But I feel like we should be all right. We're going back with Bruna there. We're going to Spasievich. We're going to bring Koller in. Kjoller's coming in. Vetgren got his chance, didn't impress. We're going to bring Winkle in. We're going to put Forsgren at the base of midfield. Linger and Del Suze we stick with. Kierkegaard. Stay with Svensson and Mouset. And then, I need to get the kid. Let's get the kid up from here. Who's our young goalkeeper? Braja. That's our backup goalkeeper sorted. And then the rest of these positions we can just fill out as normal. That's our bench of 7 players. I think we switched to balanced early. So even though this is a game we should feel comfortable with, I think we just try and contain things and then look to hit maybe a little bit later in the game just to get that. So it was in your head from Dion, but Spink put you off. So Coritiba was, when Coritiba was on that pink train, she came in straight away and was like pink, but the colour. I thought there was a chance she was going to get it quite early, but it was Pink the singer we were looking for. So Fridays, quit living in the past. Exactly. It's the only day you're in love. I mean, it's good to compartmentalize your time like that. If you have a day dedicated to love, beautiful. And just before the weekend as well. I mean, arguably, one would say that's appropriate. And here's a chance early on, and Bruin manages to save it. Oh, I almost forgot. It's a shame that I can't. I've tried doing this save absolute and save roll thing. I don't think that quite works. I maybe misunderstand it. But let's get ourselves up here. Let's get ourselves over on the touchline. The cure reference is something you can always get behind. Everyone can get behind an occasional cure reference, right? So RJ, your young goalkeeper will finish the season starter, just like Sagas for you after your 2 goalkeepers. Don't say that. He might be a starter next game. So another ball over the top. It's a lovely ball. Saporetti's run is brilliant, but we've got 3 centre-backs and none of them are tracking. None of them tracked him whatsoever. Our high line is definitely doing for us at the moment, but that's part and parcel with control possession. Right, so I've dropped down to balance now. I thought maybe should have done that from kickoff, and you might think we should probably go attacking, but I think I want to just see how we cope. Try and get a bit of control. 70% possession in the starting moments. Not had a shot yet. Brabant have had yet another shot, however. Right, come on, lads. Do something. Let's zoom out a little bit more. Mouse it. Just loses the ball. We're in a moment. I think there's going to be a team meeting coming after this game. As Idris sends it for us. Del Suze runs the challenge. He gets there. Can he get the crossing? Maybe. No, he's going to play it to the edge of the box. And here's a shot from distance. Blocked. It's that corner. That is a corner. We've got... Is it just Porsgrunn on the booking already? So Porsgrunn's probably going to find himself subbed off at half time. And that is our one chance so far. I think we do move up to attacking. I think I might try and say something positive as well. Fridays are for DILFs. I mean, exactly. That's why that's all about love, right? As Lestry says, for the DILFs. Got it. Exactly. Yeah, I have a feeling our young goalkeeper might be starting before the season is up. Not for injuries, but just to refresh that position a little bit. Right, let's go attacking. Let's do a little bit of encouragement. Although we've changed to attacking and then immediately a highlight. Starting with Brabant on the ball. Aligi out wide. Pedersen now. Back to Bala. Bala sends it forwards. Come on. Here's the counter-attack. Maybe. Mouse it. It's the counter-attack for Brabant. Riesch. Come on. Somebody make a challenge. Please, anyone. Out wide. Got loads of space out on the right there. The left back is slow to come out. What is this highlight? I don't know who this highlight is for. Is it our highlight? Is it their highlight? Come on. Get the ball in. Right, Winkle. Beats his man. Sends the cross into the far post. They get it clear. There hasn't actually been a shot in this highlight yet. Kierkegaard into Del Suze. Del Suze gets it back. Here's the shot. Boom.
Goals for Brønshøj, it's Brønshøj who scores goals, it's Brønshøj who scores goals, it's the goals for Brønshøj. Always should be someone you really love.
It is going to be, it's a 2-minute replay. It is a 2-minute replay, RJ. It started from that corner and it's going to go back and forth, so we're not going to watch the whole thing. But we've got a goal. It's Del Suze. Assist from Porsgrunn, who's coming off at half-time anyway because of his yellow card, bless him. By the way, thank you very much for the follow, the 6th best at Boom. I mean, who are the 5 better at Boom than you? That's what I want to know. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome in. And thank you for the follow, Kadero. For both of you guys, if you're comfortable jumping in chat, I'd love to know who you support, who you're playing with in FM, but no obligation to do so whatsoever. You miss our Friday night DILFs. Everyone misses the Friday night DILFs. Kierkegaard's on a booking now as well. And there's the physio out, but we seem to be all right. Okay, going attacking, we've certainly had, since we switched to attacking, they've had no shots. We've had 5. 5 very low quality shots, but we'll take it. Still not necessarily great for a home game against the team second bottom, but if we can just maybe stem the or block the leakage, a draw might help our morale a little bit and get us back into winning ways. As Winkle makes a good, that's a fine tackle. No, ref. No, don't be daft. It's just a warning. That's absolutely fine. But they do have a free kick, and it's going to be Pedersen. He's going to send it forwards. Fries is there at the back post. Can't get there. But they've got the second ball. Here's Pedersen again once more. Jensen. We're pushing them backwards. That seems a vaguely promising thing. But we're not really getting much pressure on them at all. But here comes Svensson. A chance to counter-attack. Mouse it is slow, so he releases Linger. Mikael Linger for the lead, and it's denied. He went to the near post. The keeper shifted quite heavily across. I mean, the near post was probably a good decision for the shot, but he manages to get down to it. Come on, we need a win. We need to. We've heard a bit of girls and boys, but we need to hear a little bit of Brønshøj back in town. Come on, lads. Right, we show everyone that the praise is justified. What praise? I've been telling them that they're all rubbish. So Porsgrun's got the assist, so he's obviously got a good rating. But I don't like the fact that he's booked. And the same goes for Kierkegaard as well. We'll keep Winkle out on the right. What a name, Winkle. Is Idris are we gonna give Wettergren another chance after the last game? I think we are. We're making 3 substitutions at half time. And let's see how we get on in the second half, potentially. Ultimate Dilf is Crodmo's grinder name. There's a revelation for us. You got to dance for the entire... Oh, dear God. I don't think I have the energy for that at all. So Mick G, how odd. You lost all sound, but the video was just fine after Only Connect. Sheer luck on your part that I made the connection. Still nice to... That is quite incredible. I mean, to be honest, it probably helped you not being able to hear me talk nonsense as Oscar Svensson.
Goals for Brønshøj, it's Brønshøj who scored goals, it's Brønshøj who scores goals, it's the goals for Brønshøj. Always should be someone you really love.
Ba-ba-bow. Oscar Svensson, that's a beautiful strike. Like, nice technique, keeps it low, a little bit of curl right into the far corner. So it's the 6th, you support Celtic and you're doing a Navarra save where you just got promoted from Serie C. Awesome. How deep into it? So was that in the first couple of seasons or are you a little bit deeper into it? Yeah, let us know a little bit more about that. Cromwell loves a bit of Winkle. Lestry loves Winkle and Wang. I mean, what could we say? Muster, we need some better uses for points. You've got 12,000 and no idea what to do with them. I mean, fair enough. If there are anything that you'd like as a points redeem, do let me know. I will certainly take some suggestions on board. So you're into the 3rd season. Beautiful stuff. How are you feeling about it? Do you feel like you've got a good chance in Serie B, or is it going to be a little bit of a struggle in that first season, do you reckon? 12,000 amateur. They are rookie numbers, indeed. Wang, that's number Wang. Love a little bit of... Was that a look... What was it? The Michelin Web look. They've had so many now. They've had so many now that it's difficult.
You tell me, how do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
On a needle. Out, Barbie. Thank you very much and welcome in, my dude. That is 19 months. That is crazy. That is 2 human pregnancies and a month. It is very much appreciated. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a fabulous weekend as well. So Sherbs wants to make Musterman chug a pint button. I mean, that would, I mean, no. Yeah, I love the suggestion. So I thank you for the suggestion, but it's not happening. I am not a pint drinker. I seldom drink alcohol nowadays. Yeah, I've never been a pint man. I think the last pint I chugged was of Ouzo when I was 18 in Magaluf, and that did not end well, as I'm sure you can imagine. Here's Fries. It looks like Brabant have got a little bit of the wind in their sails. I had a couple of chances recently, so let's give a little bit of focus. Fries at the back post is the side netting. Yeah, we're dropping down to balanced as well as saying focus. And there's going to be a highlight straight from it. Oh no. Oh no. So George wants to know 6 best at Boom's thoughts on Willie Collum. I mean, I would keep that one to private chat, I'll be honest. I mean, you shouldn't really be asking about Willie Collums in public. Sherbs just wanted to we've got 2 highlighted messages that just say Wang. Beautiful stuff. We need a bit of Wang. Wembayama, Barack Obama, bananas in pajamas, Knicks in 6. That's a bold prediction, Grizzly P. It's a bold prediction. I do love a little bit of Harry Hill-esque there as well. Sherbs goes fucked, right? I agree with that completely. A pint of water, I can do that for sure. A pint of wine, it's just chugging is probably more of my issue than the well, I don't like lager, so yeah, 568 milliliters of wine, I can do that, but just not in a chug. As Del Suze goes with the chance from distance. A lot of highlights in the second half. We're only 20 minutes into the second half, and it's been pretty much all highlights, to the extent that I am checking it hasn't switched to full match somehow. Right, spreads it out wide to Winkle. His ball forward's never going to make it to anyone there. Shagaloo on Friday, exactly. And that was Magaluf the really. Yeah, it wasn't at Shagaloof or Magaluf, but that was weird. That was age 19. That was a lad's holiday, and I mean, sure, I was different when I was slightly different when I was younger, but I still looked like a homeless man, and I still was just a nerd that likes numbers and video games. So not necessarily, Magaluf isn't necessarily my native environment, and definitely not the kind of holiday that I would choose. But you know, when you're that age and you want to go on a holiday with your mates, that's the kind of option. We did the year before go to Malaga, and that's where I downed a pint of ouzo. But that was a far more sophisticated. It wasn't. That was horribly messy. Arguably far worse. So decent chance. I'd love us to get a third goal. Just see it through. A pint of gravy, 100% yes. George says the NFL is better than the NBA. I quite happily agree with that statement. How do I? I like a background sport, something I can put on whilst I'm paying attention to something else, and the NFL is great for that. NBA, you need to be much more attentive, but it is NBA. Basketball is just so fun to watch by comparison. Right, are we okay? He's not got an injury indicator, so I think he should be able to see through the game. I do think, though, we do need to start making substitutions. You're definitely not on full match. Crazy the amount of highlights. Here's Winkle. Back to Mouset. Playing as that deep lying forward. He is definitely deep lying at the moment. Kyolo out to Wettergren. Wettergren down the line. Here's Herford. Come on. Make a run or something. That's a nice ball. Spreads it out to Winkle. Back to Lingo on the edge of the area. His shot's blocked, though. Right. I'm not going to wait for this highlight to see out. I'm just going to make the changes. I'm going to bring Farborg on as the deep lying forward. And I've still got stoppages with one sub left. So we will hold that back a little bit as Linger's going to take the corner. Swings it in at that near post. Franson gets it clear. Now to Svensson on the edge of the box. Finds Herford. That should have been... Oh, that should have been the game wrapped up. Oh, Mustermann's the type of guy to go on holiday to Stevenage. Exactly. I mean, I was in Stevenage yesterday. You've got me 100% bang to rights there. Who doesn't love a nice little trip to Stevenage Station? You just realised how weird Willie Collum sounds to people who doesn't. I always love the fact that I didn't know he was the head of Scottish referees. I just know him from his more, I suppose, active refereeing days. Because he was as far as referees go, he was a pretty good referee. I'm sure there was, without doubt, loads of controversial moments with him, but there always is with referees because it's a ridiculously hard job. Right, Franson now. I would like to make another change, I think. But, come on, a goal here. Del Suze to Farborg, to Svensson! And that's straight at Christopherson there. Our final change, I think we're bringing off Winkle and we're going to bring on Lishoy. Lishoy at Brønshøj. Oh, no. Awful It's offside. Is that offside? Yeah. I thought he just completely missed the flight of the ball and he was in behind. Even to people who do know, you know some of the lads who would have been. I don't think you do, Crodmo, actually. You might know one or two, possibly. Magaluf, I don't think you do. So 16-year-old DMB passed out in the streets of Leganas after downing a bottle of ouzo. Still the one and only time you've ever blacked out drunk. I mean, that seems to be, let's face it, I mean, that is a perfectly reasonable response to a bottle of ouzo. I mean, I put ouzo down to my inability to deal with aniseed flavour as an adult. So snooker is a great background sport. Exactly. Streets of Lasagna is the underrated follow-up song to Streets of Philadelphia. So RJ, you're glad you're not the only one with tons of random highlights. I because I play it like this, I do quite like it when I'm off stream, because you do feel more like an observer than a manager in some respects, but it's quite chill just to watch the game play out. I find I notice it more when I'm streaming because I'm not paying as much attention. If that makes it seems weird, but because I'm not paying much attention, I'm surprised when highlights feel so long by comparison. It's odd. So weird. You would say basketball would be more background for you. You love the intricacies of NFL games. Actually, the thing for me with NFL is as soon as we get to... Oh, I'm going to shut up. We've got to win. Hopefully that's an end to our little dip. That's the hope, at least there. Yeah, I love NFL in so much as you pay attention for the play, it happens, and you've got a nice little 20 seconds to focus back over there. And then, yeah, so it's wonderful for me as a background sport in that respect. Helsingor have got back to winning ways as well as AB. So we maintain that 2-point gap. We are officially in the top 6 from here now. So we've got a 12-point gap with 2 games remaining before the league splits in 2. We were always safe in that regard. But nice to get back into winning ways. Our next game is going to be on the 1st of April. A Thursday game against our big rivals, AB. Beautiful stuff. So Lestry, Mrs. Lestry has gone to bed at 9:30 p.m. so you can tell who's winning. I mean, that's not a good... I mean, is it a good sign that she's just gone to bed rather than the guaranteed arguments ensue as you gloat at full time? You say one thing too many. So it's probably good that she's just gone, right, the game's not going well, I'm off. So as far as referee games know, the French win with Clément Turpin and Ruddy Bouquet. I mean, Ruddy Bouquet, they are fun names, but Willie Collum is just a fun... Willie and Collum. Come on. That's just like the surname Collum in its own right isn't that funny, but it is a distinctive enough surname that you probably don't give a first name that could also be called a column, potentially. Welcome in that One Dutch streamer. Lovely to see you. You just won the UCL final as Celtic against Liverpool. Big result there. How far into your save are you? So RJ, there's too many ads in the NFL for you. 10% game, 90% ad. That's where the backgroundiness of it all comes in. Plus, if you watch on perfectly legal streams, you get all the wonderful American adverts, which, let's face it, are hilarious. Not for the actual adverts themselves. They're not deliberately funny. It's all those medical adverts that are like, the advert itself is 30 seconds long and the disclaimer is the next minute. Right, do we have any Wonder Kids? We don't. It's Lamine Yamal is top, Kuretsas is second, Quenda, Louis Page, Kashimani, Bernal, Kamada, Carvalho, Anka Mafio, and Truld Allmendingen. So there was a young Norwegian at PSG. That's our first of our new gens to make it in. Let's see if we've got any more new gens appearing. We've got one at Inter Miami. Am I going to be able to pronounce Jusibon Petitjean? We're going with that. 17-year-old striker. Any other new gens breaking through? George Fuentes, another one in America, and New York Red Bulls. What on earth is that? Is that just American reputation helping them up a little bit? And then the last lot here, we've got a third in America. There's something questionable here. Victor Hernandez, the 18-year-old with a moustache like that. It's glorious. Truly, truly glorious. When do we get our intake? That's got to be coming soon, actually. It's beginning of mid-April, 16th of April. So it'll probably be after the league splits in two. Cause, yeah, it will be after that there. Check where is the cat? I shall indeed. Do I have any idea how long the stream is likely to last? So it's probably going to be around the same... Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Doesn't like the back arrow. Is it like the forwards arrow? It does indeed. Is the cat not in my save? I am shocked that, so it's a large database. I didn't load Belgium, but I would have thought that he would have been in the squad there. So yeah, doing better. So I reckon it will probably be maybe another 30-40 minutes. What we're going to do is we're going to play around on missing 11 in a moment, and then I will. We've got another break coming up. We'll come off the back of that break. We'll probably play the next couple of games, and then it'll be, yeah, I guess somewhere around 1:30, 1:40 maybe. No, I'm shocked. I am shocked. We don't have Nathan De Cat in the save. I think I might need to load Belgium up purely for that. Jusibon Petitjean, God, that good little John. I love beautiful. Belgian players aren't that important. That's fair. Anderlecht is where you're from, Zazariel. Beautiful. Welcome in, Zazariel, by the way. I really appreciate your comments as well the other day. Very, very, very kind of you, sir. We have, so over on Twitch as well, Zazariel, we have RJ. So we've got 2 Anderlecht fans. Who would have thought 2 Anderlecht fans would exist? Not just in the same place, but just 2 Anderlecht fans exist. Crazy stuff. Right, let's pop on over to missing 11, and I will explain how this game works. I mean, it is pretty straightforward. Let me just get the command ready. In a few moments, over to your left, there's going to appear a team sheet with the formation and players that are playing in a specific game from some point in history. Below it, it will reveal the criteria of what the game is that we are looking for. I want you to name the starting 11. Their shirt numbers will be the number of letters in that player's surname. You need to spell their names correctly, but you can choose to spell their whole name or just the surname. Just the surname is quicker, which is what I would recommend. If they have an accent in the name, you can include it. You don't have to include it. And basically, it's fastest finger wins. You get 1 point for each player you correctly get. And I say a bonus point if you can work out what's significant about the game. There's not really anything significant about it, but I will give a bonus point for anyone who names the manager of the team that we are looking for. So let's pop on over and see what we are looking for today. We are looking for the Switzerland team from the 1994 World Cup against USA. So a nice easy one right off the top there. So we've got Sutter, we've got Geiger, Crodmo very much knows this one. DM basis those picked up on Shapazat. Medical Car has correctly got Roy Hodgson for manager. So whilst he's talking, let me get that bonus point sorted out there. George is too young for this one, unfortunately. And Johnny Trotter's just a little bit behind on Schwarzer. A guess for Grassy. Now, I was going to say, I think there is two more players that I would say is probably guessable. And it was Hottiger was one of them. Crudmo has got there. Lestri has correctly got Georges Bregi as well. Was Roberto Biagio in there? If only. I think that we've got some players that are tricky. We've got Dominique Hare. Well done, Lestri. Beautiful stuff. Another guess for Suter, unfortunately, already been taken before Muller's time, unfortunately. Thomas Bickle. Beautiful stuff, Lestri. Beat Mr. Grizzly by mere seconds. RJ has correctly got Ivan Quentin is just the goalkeeper to go. DM basis was 5. Indeed, I don't remember the team. And Grizzly has picked up on Marco Pascalo as well. The damn goalkeeper played for Forest. That's it. So I do not know who Ivan Quentin is. I'm not that familiar with Marco Pascalo either. The rest of the team, I would have said that Hottiger, Geiger, Schwarzer, Shapazat, Suter were the ones that I might have had a chance with. It's a particularly difficult one. So I said that there wasn't going to be a significant one. The bonus point I gave out for the manager, which was correctly guessed by Medical Car, it was Roy Hodgson. But it was the opening game for the World Cup 94. That's kind of implied by the date, which is why I didn't go for that as the significance. But it's a good bit of trivia there from George in terms of being the first World Cup match to be played indoors. Beautiful stuff. Right, okay, we have a break coming up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disappear for a few minutes. There is no mini game in the second break. I don't quite have enough resource to set up a second mini game in it. So I'm just going to disappear for 3 minutes. I'm going to go to the toilet, do all those lovely bits whilst the adverts play. And then we will pop back and we will play a little bit of Top 7, which DMB redeemed as well. And then hopefully we'll squeeze in a couple of games before the season splits in two. I will see you shortly. Right, and we're back. Welcome back. So, later that day, Ray Houghton did score the greatest goal in the history of World Cups. Let's face it, that's very true. Welcome in Gary Miller as well. I hope you're doing well. If you are over on Twitch, give Gary a follow. A lovely, lovely gentleman. I mean, what are you playing nowadays, Gary? I know that you've veered on and off with FM. Are you over playing FC26 now, or are you on something else at the moment? Cromo says, you hate to be pedantic, as you know, but the first match in World Cup 94 was actually Germany-Bolivia on something. No, I watched it live. Did you? Oh, fair enough. Okay. I mean, I based it off Wikipedia, which claimed it was the other one, but I'm happy to be corrected. Now, we've got a redeem for top 7. So another little game here. I will let you guys know how it works if you haven't played before. It's basically tenable. So in a few moments, down right at the bottom, you're going to see a little criteria, and your job is just to name the top 7 answers. The person who gets the top answer will get 2 points. The person who gets the answers, or any of the answers after that, is 1 point each. Again, it's going to be fastest finger, so we need to get in before Crudmo, because he seems to be very much living for these moments. Not living for these moments. That sounds really harsh. That's not what I meant. You need to spell names correctly. Accents you can include, you don't necessarily need to include though. Right, let's get to it. Today I am looking for the 7 most recent UEFA Champions League winning captains. Oh, welcome in, by the way, Laka. Lovely to see you, my dude. And it is indeed Marquinhos. Marquinhos, obviously the captain for the last 2 years. Modric, sadly, was not the captain for that game. Neither was Van Dijk for Liverpool back then. Manuel Neuer was indeed out Farby. We had Jordan Henderson for the Liverpool game. Well done, Grizzly. Beautiful, beautiful work there. De Bruyne was not the captain for Man City, unfortunately. We've had a couple of people just a little bit behind. We've got suggestions for De Bruyne. Wasn't Walker either. Wasn't Ramos. Wasn't Fernandinho or Humberto or Carvajal. No Maldini, unfortunately, a little bit further behind. Cromo has correctly got that it was Ilkay Gundogan was the captain for that Man City final. I was surprised by one of the Real Madrid captains. I will confess that person that is currently sitting in spot number 2 was not who I thought it would be. Grizzly P correctly just pips Cromo to the post with Cesar Azpilicueta. Nice work, RJ, getting Benzema. I was surprised that Benzema was captain for that game as well. So we just have one captain, and I've told you, I've given it away that it's a Real Madrid player, and it's not necessarily who you would think it was going to be, because Ramos would be a fair suggestion. But Lestri has squeezed it in there right before Grizzly P. Nacho took the captain's armband in 2024. Is it 2026, 25, 24? Yeah, in 2024. Beautiful, incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. Right, am I on the right thing? I am there. So let's pop back to the game. Beautiful work. Fabulous, fabulous work, guys. Now, thank you very much for the follow, by the way, MustermannFM. Welcome in. If you're comfortable jumping in chat, I'd love to know who you support, who you're playing with in FM, but zero need whatsoever to don't feel obliged to chat. You can lurk. That's absolutely fine. So Nacho man, I wanna be a Nacho man. So what am I going to do in terms of changes? So Paulsman played quite well. He keeps his spot. I think Kierkegaard maybe gets. Kierkegaard's so good. Do we just? I think we stick with. I bring Larson back in. I'm bringing Larson back in. I know we just won a game, but I'm bringing Larson back in. We need a chip. We need the chip name. What type of Nacho? Was it Cool Original or Chili Heatwave? I mean, I hate to be that guy. I hate to be that guy. But nachos and Doritos are two very, very different things. Nachos are amazing. Doritos are amazing. But a proper nacho hits just that little bit more. Right, before we head into the game, let's get the poll for today's GOAT going. So we've got the iGOAT recommendations in there. I have narrowed it down to 4 players based on a little bit of my own opinion and those that got most mentioned So I want to know who you think is the greatest player of all time whose surname begins with the letter I. And we have up there, we have Andre Iniesta, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Ciro Immobile, and Victor Ibarbo gets the honourable mention in there. It'll be about 10 minutes we've got to vote. So that's the upper limit that's allowed on Twitch. Over on YouTube, the limit is forever, but we'll bring it to an end at the same time so that it all kind of ties together. So get your votes in. We've got an early lead coming out there for Iniesta, which is, you know, I don't want to unduly... I'm in the wrong place. Let's get myself over to that bench. Where am I? Here I am. Get myself right on top. Yeah, we're above now. Something like that'll do. Oh, I need to press the follow ball button. And let's see, the big rivalry. We drew with them at home earlier in the season. This is the rivalry that has essentially inspired this save. So this is the game that I probably want to win more than any of the other games this season. But it's also a game that we should lose. AB are a team that are much better than us. Probably are. I mean, they're the second favourites to get promoted. They are a team that you kind of associate with being second and between kind of second and third division, whilst we should very much be a fourth division team. So I haven't got high expectations. I am going to drop down to balanced. I probably should have done that from kickoff. Yeah, George, I couldn't think of a nacho brand, sadly not. And Andy Irving, some fine suggestions in there. We did have Pip Inzaghi was suggested, but then when you've got to narrow it down to 4, so Iniesta and Ibrahimovic, I think are fair shouts in terms of maybe genuine GOATs. Ciro Immobile and Victor Ibarbo were the 2 most recommended suggestions after those 2, so they've come in on kind of like a popularity position. I think that Inzaghi is a very, very fair shout to have made it in there. I'm not sure who else could have potentially made it in there. No, Crodmo made a point to not say Paul Ince. I think Paul Ince would have been a reasonable shout. It was Pippo Inzaghi who was the only. We only had one Inzaghi, and it was Pippo. So nobody went for Simone Inzaghi. Greatest off. That's what GOAT stands for. It's a fair point. Gianni Infantino was robbed. I mean, Gianni Infantino knows about corruption, so he should be used to it by now, right? So the old people voted first. They definitely did. Svensson's in behind. Oscar Svensson, has he stayed on side? I think the flag's up. The flag's up. Oh, our young lad. Our young lad. I thought that was going to be a moment of heroics. Thank God I didn't hit the soundboard too early. I mean, there's been one shot in the entirety of the game so far. This is the complete opposite. The last game, where virtually the whole of the second half was highlights, and this one where there's been one highlight in the entirety of the first half. But we've got another one here, and it looks like AB are going to build up. They're moving it nicely through the lines. There we go. Good defending, Spasijevic. Can we come away with it? That's a red card, ref. That was lenient. He pushed him. A guaranteed red card. Right, Mousett's going to take the free kick. He's going to swing it into the far post. Mousett's the kind of player I would like to be on the end of free kicks. He's like 6'2". We signed him because he's got like deep lying forward, target forward kind of vibes. But I mean, he's probably also our only good player, so it kind of makes sense that he might also be the best at set pieces. Here's Kierkegaard. Come on, lad. Kierkegaard beats his man, beats the second, feeds it inside. Del Suze. And that was a really, really good tackle, but we'll take it. And I'll call for another red card. We will call for another red card. Here's Mousett standing over it with a curler. A relatively easy save in the end for Benedictson. On a reel though, Dennis Irwin is the best left back in Premier history. I wouldn't necessarily say no, but I wouldn't necessarily say yes either. In Padino, today I feel robbed. Kelly and Nacho for I and the best Nacho. Well, that's a bold take. I mean, he's probably better than Tony Dorito, that's for sure. Knowing Zlatan, his response would be, I am not the GOAT, I am the Zlatan. It would definitely be his response. I'm delighted with that for a first half. We've kept it tight. We not been a great game, but I will live with that. I think we'll give it 10 minutes or so. Horsgren's struggling a little bit there, so maybe we'll bring Massard on sort of 10 minutes into the second half. Svensson's on a 6.4, so he might be replaced by Farborg as well. Let's see, the cross comes in, we head it clear. Second phase though, Nankishi sends it in. Nobody's marking Engel, and that should have been 1-0 to AB. Oh, we've got away with one there. They're just completely alone. Completely alone. That is crazy. He could have taken it down. He could have made himself a cup of tea. He could have had a cheeky little wank and then had time still left to score. Here's the ball over the top, and no, that's never going to be gathered by Del Suze. So Ian Nacho, I'd love to. That's 4-time Ballon d'Or winner in your save, Filippo Inzaghi. You admitted. I mean, that's just how it goes. It should be a red card. Every foul they make should be a red card, specifically because they're in green and white. So Tony Dorito, the actor indeed. What about Des Walker? I mean, Des Walker is not a Nacho. I mean, but as much as he is a crisp, or Des Lays if you live on the continent, exactly. He scored 50 plus for 4 straight seasons for you. That is a ridiculous record. Here's Winkle, sends it in. Come on now, mouse it. He just can't quite get over it. I said about 10 minutes, so we're probably making that change now. Yeah, we are. Just going to start with Massard. There is something about this Svensson lad. You know, he does know how to score, and I feel like we lose a little bit of enigmatic danger if I sub him off. Farborg's our top scorer, so it wouldn't be a bad player to bring on in his place. But the way that Svensson exploded on his mouse it takes the shot and it's tipped over by Benediktsson. We're doing well. We're doing all right. Anyone surnamed Smith, if you're old enough for Smith's Crisps, that's a fair point. 20 off the pool for Inzaghi. I mean, Championship Manager era stats were incredible, weren't they? You're struggling for a footballer called Golden Wonder, if I wonder. I'm sure there is somebody that's been at least nicknamed the Golden Wonder. Ali McCoy's. Oh, of course. Of course. That wasn't a foul. That should be a red card for diving. Kierkegaard getting a booking there. And there's a highlight immediately after. Engel now. Right, Dalhende. So this is like the other game where the second half highlights. We're only 15 minutes into the second half. Engel now. Come on, just make a tackle. Or a foul. Let's get some encouragement going. See if we can do something from this corner. Linger's going to take it. We're very, very good at hitting the first man. And we did again. Right, shot from distance. Massard. You're never going to score from there, are you now? Des is the winner as per the song. You'll never beat Des Walker's. There we go. So the most you've seen is 47 in a season. Roberto Piccoli. I mean, back in some of the earlier versions, who was that Greek striker that didn't exist? Alexandropoulos could quite easily hit a 60-goal season. Didn't exist, had like 20 finishing, 19 pace. Ridiculous players at the time. Right, Ramkilde goes down. Is this highlight just going to be the injury, or are they going to score whilst they've only got 10 men actively playing? No, it's going to be just be for the substitution. Ramkilde will have to go off. Let's see. I've only made a substitution about 10 minutes ago. I think we're going to make changes now though as well. Herefort's coming on for the booked Kierkegaard. I am finally bringing on Farborg after I tried to talk myself out of it. But he just hasn't. Svensson just hasn't really done anything, unfortunately. Anyone remember Scottish defender Alex Pringles? I don't, but I do remember South African striker Martin Pringle. I think he might have, was he at Charlton along with Mark Fish? Martin Pringle had a spell where he scored like 4 goals in 7 games, and then we never heard of him ever again. Right, here comes Emerson out wide to Licker. Licker back. There's the ball over. He's now just got to send that cross, and he does. Larson does his job. As far as Kufor grazes the bar. Right, we've still got 1 stoppage left. It's going to be Winkle coming off for Lishoy. And is it going to be Svensson on for Del Suze? It is. And as we come into the last 10 minutes, we're going for it. We're not gonna take the draw. We could take the draw. The draw is probably good. It's better to draw against your rivals than to lose, for sure. Here comes Licker. Sends it in. We get to the first header. Can we make the counter-attack? Farborg to Mouse it. Mouse it to Farborg again. Send it over. Look at Hereford. There we go. And 1 more ball forwards. If Svensson can make that one into the channel. He was slow making the run, and that wasn't a highlight. That did not deserve to be a highlight, what for sure. I think Iniesta is winning. I mean, Iniesta is winning over on Twitch. I'm going to end the poll over on YouTube as well. And I can tell you that it might be a bit of a shock. You might think that he's winning. But we've got results on other sides, which we'll reveal at the end of the game. Skilidis was incredible, ridiculous. Toe Madeira, Sigalko. Is it Emerson's in behind? Ah, bollocks. Well, that's what happens. We said we were going to go for it. We were risking this. And to be fair, AB have been the better team in the second half. We missed a couple of chances, but in that second half, they had that massive one at the far post. Larson, though, was just done completely. Emerson just rolls it in past Bruna. We are 1-0 down against the rivals. That will close the gap significantly. I think if the other team win, Helsingør win, they would go top. AB would come to within a point of us. But as I say, there's still another 10 games after the league splits in half. Former Wigan defender Brian Kettlechips, if only. If only. More recently, there's Ben Pringle, but he was an average player sticking up the 4th tier of English football, so is not a GOAT. I mean, he might be the GOAT of 4th tier football, I'm hoping. Wayne Jacobs Cream Crackers, love it. AB is back into... Oh, RJ celebrating the win for our rivals. Disgusting behaviour. Jordan Monster Much. I love it. Love it. Oliver Skips was it. That's incredible. Incredible work there. Who else could we have? Who could we have? Can't think of any Raiders. Someone's Space Raiders. I can't think of anything on that line. We lost to 11 player AB. That was the problem. I mean, to be fair, they did have a player down injured for a bit, and they still got a corner during that moment. So Helsingør held to a draw. So it's 1 point splits the top 3. 1 game to go before the league splits in half. I mean, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Just go for Dave Space Raider. Perfect. Perfect. Jamaican winner Carlos Knickknacks. You made him up, but it sounds plausible. I mean, Carlos Edwards, Carlos Knickknacks, same difference, right? So the results are in. And I can tell you, with 1 vote, Ciro Immobile is last. With 3 votes, Victor Barbo and Zlatan Ibrahimovic are second. With 20 votes, Andre Iniesta is the clear winner by a landslide. I mean, so clear was the win that Fleetwood Mac wrote a song about it preemptively, which is quite crazy. Today's GOAT has already been chosen. Unfortunately, you get welcome in, by the way. I am very, very well. How are you? How is your weekend so far? We're having a bit of a torrid time on it. Having lost only 1 game all season, we have now lost 3 of our last 4 games. Our only win coming against currently bottom of the table Brabant. Our final game before the season splits in 2 is against previously bottom Ishali, who have won 3 of their last 4 games. So we will see how it goes. We are going to prepare the high press. We're going to do some work on the final third. We're going to do some work on attacking corners in the hope that we can get it past the first man. Just once. Just once is all I ask for. So John Nee, the wonder kid people don't recall is the 18-year-old Chris Smith. He was always available on a free. You had to search and buy immediately without hitting continue, or you wouldn't get him. Regardless of league, he'd get about 50 goals. Had 18 to 20 in all stats, but technique that was 1. He'd retire at the end of the season always. If you bought his regen, he'd always give you average rating of 5 despite a CA of 200. Almost certainly hard-coded for testing purposes and never removed. That sounds like quite the Easter egg. Incredible find. This was pre-Steam where the database was whatever was on floppy disk. Is that back in Champ Manager? Is that an early Football Manager? I don't know which. Chris Smith, a lot of us here are very, very, very familiar with the floppy disk days. A few years back, there was Mark de Man, a defender, the Belgian defender. It was a phenomenal name. I mean, everyone surely knows Mark de Man for what has got to be the greatest case of footballing nominative determination. LA Chargers have a defensive tackle called Damien Square, and because he's a defensive tackle, he is literally square-shaped. Chris Smith was CM95. There we go. Sensational stuff. I did not know about that one. That is cool. We're not going to be... We did try and negotiate with Victor Farborg. He was a player who was on a 2-year contract when we joined. He is the reason why we're paying everyone 380 euros per week, because we were stuck with him for another season regardless. But that means he doesn't have the clauses or any of the bonuses removed yet. He wants a pay rise to stay, so he's gone. So we're going to let him leave. Damien Squares, of course. We're going for Gustavo Hula Hoop. I feel that seems a little contrived. I don't feel Hula Hoop sounds very, very Mexican, sadly. I do like, though, Shinshuki Nick Nakamura. That is much better. Much better. We go for Sunderland forward, Danny Disco. Love it. Raphael Scheidt was the most aptly named footballer ever. What are you suggesting? You've been playing since 92 on the Amiga. Still have a Mansfield save at your dad's place. Unless your sibling borrowed your Amiga. I mean, John, this is the time to be getting yourself back to your dad's place and reclaiming that Amiga. Because there is absolutely no doubt whatsoever that it needs to be restored. It needs to be brought back to life in a living sense and relive that nostalgia. I wish I still had my old Amiga. I know that Crudmo has mentioned it before, that he managed to get hold of his old one as well. I mean, all the memories. Right, I think... Right, Massard back in. I'm sticking with Svensson. I like Svensson. And this will be the last game before the league split. So it'd be nice to finish the phase on a high, maybe maintain that top spot. I was shocked that we were even at top at the end of the last stream, but it would be a shame to throw that away now. Although actually, do we throw it away now rather than throw it away whilst in the championship group? The assistant wants us to say we're favourites, so we're going to say we're favourites. We're going to pop on over. I'm going to remember to do the camera bit first. How far off am I? Let's try that. Let's try a little bit more there. And then I can go down. Maybe pop up a little. Zoom out. There we go. I'm going to move down to balance straight away. That seemed to do all right for us against Brabant. So if we maybe... Our home games might be balanced. I did all right for us against AB. It was only when we went attacking that we started to lose. But we are playing in black. We're at home, but we're playing in an away kit. Have we played in black before? I'm sure our away kit is a different colour. Who knows? Who knows? Yiggy, your last two videos, brilliant. The Christmas tree and the Scotland World Cup one. I'm glad you appreciate them. Thank you very, very much. I mean, I love the Christmas tree video. It's great to explore different iterations. But I love the Scotland one far more. The World Cup update. I mean, international football hasn't changed massively, but I did think that the branding brought it to life, and it felt a lot more enjoyable than it normally does. I think part of that is because although you can't rest players, they've tweaked the recovery times. So there wasn't really any rotation injury issues until the third place playoff. But that's because there's only 2 days, Wednesday to Saturday, third place playoff being a day earlier, and we'd ended up playing 120 minutes beforehand. So under the circumstances, I think most players would be knackered. And Ishoy are really coming at us right at the beginning here. Let's do a little bit of focusing. Even on bounce, we've barely had any of the ball with our control possession. You would have thought that we should be okay in that sense. So Raphael Scheit's the best Celtic player of all time. How about a tall, angular German striker called Hans-Joachim Frazzles? I'm sure there's got to be a real player that you could find that is close to Frazzles. There's got to be someone. Got to be someone, right? Jason Dazelle, is he close enough? Jason Frizzell? I think that's too contrived. Former Bode Glimt forward, Mini Cheddars Jacobson. Love it. And Chrono does still have your old Amiga. CM loaded up okay, the save games didn't, and the mouse didn't work properly. They're my minor issues, right? Minor issues. Current Gladbach midfielder, Rocco Ritz-Krickers. Beautiful. Salt and Shaka Hislop. Nice. Nice. There is a club called Cadbury FC who Daniel Sturridge played for. There is indeed. There's a goalkeeper doing weird stuff. I'm glad that wasn't a goal. That would have been... What was that, though? Just hoofing it out of place. Saw that the goalkeeper did something weird, so our midfielder decided to do something weird as well. Right, let's try firing up. See if we can get players a little bit more up for the game. Might change to positive in a moment. Here's Hassan out to Salamoon. We might have to go attacking if we concede to Ishoy. Right, Christensen into Mohamed. Spreads it out wide. Here is Mola Delaveres. To Cordura sends it in. That can't be a goal. Thank God for that. Mini Cheddars Jacobson is very good. It sure is. Are we still top 3 after 3 defeats? We're still top RJ after 3 defeats out of 4. It's shocking. Shocking. Okay, former Oldham and Man City manager Jimmy Frizzle. Could be Jimmy Frazzles. We could go with that. Omar Bugiel. Bugiels, they're the little like twisted cone things, aren't they? For Omar Bogle. We could probably do that with... is it Omar Bogle as well? We could have Portsmouth Man City defender Kit Kat Simmons. I love that one. I love Kit Kat Simmons. That's incredible. Right, here comes Moretti. To Hassan. I'm going to send it forwards, and it's just going to be a foul. We're moving up to positive. And Kierkegaard gets another booking. That's 3 yellow cards in a row now. We did just fire them up, but let's see. We are playing bad. Send it out to Cordura. Christensen back to Stromgum. I mean, we're not going to have...